We'll definitely check that one out. But I'm curious about the AI music one. I listen to nothing but anime music, so I haven't listened to any AI music. Definitely not. Train couldn't run.
Hey,
Hi.
Question. Have you ever seen this in your recommended? Or what about videos like this?
No.
What about like this?
No.
And the thumbnails and titles of these don't seem weird at first glance, but if you actually ended up clicking on one of these videos, you might have noticed something feels off. Or maybe you didn't realize whatsoever, because I feel like more and more people are still getting tricked with AI music.
Here's the thing about AI music, AI art, all of this. You don't know how much you're seeing every single day because it's actually gotten really good. And this is a problem. This is going to become a big problem for a lot of the, like a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, because I think they're going to have to come to terms with the fact that a lot of people don't actually care. A lot of people, they will see something, they will consume it. They don't actually care if it's AI or not. They don't even know. They don't care. And if you tell them, they're just going to keep listening to it. They're going to keep consuming it. But it would be nice if we didn't live in this world. We live in this world, though, so welcome to the world. Good time to be here.
Especially on YouTube. You could argue that the music is getting better, but what I really think is happening is the people...
It's one of those things where if you're like a music nerd, if you're an art nerd, you'll notice it. But it's so difficult to notice it now if you're not, that like people are just ignoring it.
Tricking you about this are getting smarter. So you might have seen my other video on this channel about this exact same topic, and the reason I'm back is because first, I made that video very quickly and it was just me rambling about my opinions, and I still, to this day, get like at least a comment a day on that video of people saying how shocked and upset they are that they got tricked into listening to AI music. Now, since that video came out, there has been a few updates to YouTube to try and rectify this issue, such as the little AI tag which appears underneath a video's title, but that's only if the uploader declares that they used AI. And believe it or not, A, they're not all gonna do that, and B, are you really gonna notice this tiny faint icon next to the title? Maybe you're watching it on autoplay and it just ends up coming on. Maybe the service you're using YouTube on, like your TV, doesn't show...
Maybe you're watching a stream that is just playing random music on YouTube, and you don't even see that.
Up as obvious as it does on desktop. So with this video, I'm going to give you all the information you need to know about what's going on YouTube with this AI music craze right now, and hopefully give you some insight so you can decide on what music mixes you're going to listen to. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now first, a bit of backstory on myself. When it comes to me and my music preferences, my favorite way of listening to music is honestly YouTube. You know, I have Spotify, I've had Apple Music in the past, but really, the convenience of just typing something in on YouTube and then just finding a fun mix, I really like. And most of the cases, I love it so much because
I just listen to anime openings. That's all I listened. I just listen to anime openings. Just Naruto, every opening. Gintama, every opening. Fairy Tail, every opening. One Piece, every opening. That's all you need. That's all you need. I listen to video game soundtracks. That works as well.
Custom playlists made from people who just wanted to do it for fun. No matter if it's a jungle drum and bass, a Fruitiger Aero mix, or just a fun curated playlist, I really feel like this part of YouTube really makes it feel like an old school part of the internet, where people are just making something for fun. They're not making it to monetize, they're not making it for any other reason except because they want to. But then, that's where these AI music channels come in. Before I even give my opinion on this, let me just give you the straight facts. So the last couple years, AI has taken over absolutely everything.
Yes.
And especially that's happened with music, with the arrival of this app called Suno.
I remember early on, a lot of people were saying, oh, AI can never make music. AI can never make music. And I get it, right? I get if you're a creator, if you're a musician. But for a lot of people, they don't even notice it. To be fair, a lot of people even know it's AI and then love the fact that it's AI because it gets to do... It does something that no other fucking sane person would do, right? Like, there have been these fucking... Oh, I'm blanking on the song. There is this, like... Oh, what's the song? Let me... Yeah, Country Girls Make Do. This is from, like, 8 months ago. Let me show you this. A bunch of VTubers did covers of it. Okay, let me show you this. Is this the one? Oh. Oh, this is a different one, but it's the same idea. It's kind of like the whole brain rot thing, where a lot of people like the shitty brain rot music. What is this one? Is this the same one? Yeah, it's okay. That's the same one. Did you shoot? The fucking cover art is also, yeah, no, it's 100% AI. Everything's AI here.
Now, Suno has quote-unquote disrupted the music industry by...
Yeah, it actually has. I think it was... I don't remember what it was. There was a song... I don't remember... Was it in rap? Hip-hop? There was a song that, like, charted in Australia that was AI. I'm telling you now, within like a couple of years, whether or not you like it, there's going to be a full AI song that charts, like the global charts. You have Apple Music? I don't have Apple Music, no.
Making it so you can just type in a prompt like you would with ChatGPT or some shit, specifically for generating music. It could be country music, it could be electronic, it could be whatever, but usually it's just culmination of slop. It's just super sloppy, and I feel like if you have any sense of music taste, you can easily tell the artifact.
And that's the problem. A lot of people have no sense of music taste. A lot of people listen to what has been declared as co-worker music. It is incredibly unoffensive pop music. There's like no soul behind it. It's just corporatized music. People love this stuff. And it's basically no different from AI.
With Suno, because it's just like very twangy is like the only word I can usually use to describe it. It's just shit, really. It is just like absolute slop. Like if anything deserves the title slop, it's music that comes straight from Suno. And so that's pretty much what I was talking about in my last video. I was talking about specifically this trend of these lo-fi beat soundtracks where they have like super simple, specifically this
do we have a view count? One. This is my point. This is my point right here. This is my fucking point right here. 1 million views. Let's see if we can find it. What is this song? Oh, what is this? Is it a mix? This sounds like every other generic lo-fi song I've ever heard. If you told me this wasn't AI, I would believe you. If you told me this was AI, I'd believe you. It literally sounds like every generic lo-fi track I've ever heard.
Of these lo-fi beat soundtracks where they have like super simple names like Cafe or Cat or Matcha, and it's just a playlist of bullshit, really, is what it is. It's just like they generated an entire hour, 2 hour
and it's on Spotify.
Crap, and then chucked it on a playlist, gave it a cute little icon, and then saw the cash rolling in.
Yep.
And sure, those still do exist, but unfortunately, there's another avenue which these people have taken advantage of when it comes to generating AI music, and that is uploading real examples of people's music and quote-unquote remixing it.
This is actually a big problem that exists with, was it? Actually, Captain Sparkles. Captain Sparkles had one of his old music, like one of his old songs, copyright claimed because someone AI remixed it and then claimed they were the original author or the original creator. Now, it's one thing if the original creator of like the song that it was a parody of went and claimed it. Like that sure, I don't like that, but that's different. But somebody remixed the song with AI and then claimed it from that. The fact that you can even do that is insane, right? Like that shouldn't be possible unless you can prove your song is older.
And this I find very, very disgusting, because compared with the other one where it's like just this sort of lo-fi shitty crap, which people can easily be like, hey, yeah, this is probably slop, I'm not gonna watch this. Now, alongside that and these stupid playlists with no names and a stupid AI generated image of like a cow blurred or some shit, don't click on those videos, okay guys? Those are entirely AI generated, please. If you see a fucking cow and its video has no title, that is an AI video. Sorry, I'm getting that cow really pisses me off. What I find incredibly frustrating is these remix playlists where they take an existing OST of
Samples
a
are
video.
a thing as long as you get properly borrowed. I think AI is probably in that specific part. That's true. That's true. Like, samples have been a thing for, like, samples have been a thing pretty much, like, I don't know when the first music sampling was. I don't know that. But I'm going to assume it probably came from, I was going to say early hip-hop. It probably predates early hip-hop. What was the first song using sampling? There was a track in the 40s, but it became popular in the starting in the 60s when we got electromechanical keyboards. Okay, so 60s is around about when.
Game or an anime or a show or whatever, and they put it in a new genre. So it's a lo-fi Sonic Adventure mix, or it's a city pop Sonic Adventure mix, or it's the Amazing Digital Circus Super Smash Bros. Remix. And with examples like that is when I feel so shocked how little people know about this sort of technology going on. Because the second I heard that remix, I knew for a fact that this was Suno or some shit with how twangy.
Let's have a listen to it. This is gonna ruin my fucking... This is gonna ruin my algorithm by looking up these songs. I don't know, and... See, this is the problem. I am like a regular music listener. I can't, like, I know it's AI. Like, you've told me it's AI. It's known to be AI. Literally nothing about that. There's nothing when it's just a OST like this. When it's just music, I can't hear anything. It literally just sounds like regular music. And this is someone who has been told that it is AI. Most other people who are going to look at it have literally no idea. No idea whatsoever. And I get it that, like, music people are pissed about it. But you have to understand that most people cannot, like, they cannot hear anything that you're pointing out. Algorithm 07. I'm on my second account, so it doesn't really matter as much.
The instrumentation was. But then I scroll down to the comments, and not a single person is calling this out for being AI slop. Maybe that's changed since now, but I was just baffled by the lack of knowledge about this stuff. And you might be thinking, Mads, but how can I tell that it's not human-made versus AI-made? And that's a very good point. And I think it's only going to get harder and harder to being able to tell, oh, this was AI remixed versus, oh, this was someone actually making a remix. So that's not really what I look out for as much.
I only listen to music that have at least 10k views. This had about 190,000.
Obviously, there's like those little twangy accents which make you raise an eyebrow and think, huh, that sounds a bit strange. And if you have more music knowledge and if you're a musician yourself...
I'm telling you, regular people don't hear it. They don't hear it, they don't know, they don't care. Most people cannot hear AI music. They can possibly see AI video. Maybe they can hear AI voices. Most people cannot hear AI music.
I think it's way easier to tell, I imagine. But the real giveaway isn't what it sounds like, it's the way it's packaged. And the easiest way of telling that is by clicking on the channel itself. If you click on a channel and it seems like it's just spamming uploads, or it's a bunch of videos in like different styles, like that Digital Circus one, I clicked on it and immediately I could tell because there was other videos of it in different genres. And it's like, okay, man, if you have a channel and all you're doing is like taking a really popular IP or a really popular song and then you're remixing it in this style, in that style. It's like very, very obvious that this is not someone who's an actual musician. This is just someone who is like on Suno and being like, oh, wait, do this song, but in this style, and then posting it, and then trying to make it seem like it's something they made or that it's something original. And a lot of times, right, I'm sure, like the example I'm just using, like that Digital Circus guy.
Sorry,
I'm sure maybe
wait, what was
times,
that
right?
one?
I'm sure.
What was that thumbnail? What is going on here? Oh, that's okay. You know what? That is a legendary thumbnail. Jesus fucking Christ.
Example I'm just using, like that Digital Circus guy. I'm sure maybe they're just doing that for fun. They're like, oh wait, this is cool technology. I don't have that much music knowledge, and this is very exciting for me to go down that avenue and experience making remixes of some of my favorite songs. Good for you if that's really your choice. I wouldn't recommend doing that for fun. I think there's a lot more satisfying things you could do with your time, and the novelty of that will wear off incredibly quickly. But for real,
you know what doesn't wear off? The novelty of a million views. That doesn't wear off.
Or these people who are doing it completely for monetization. I used that example earlier of people who are making these music mixes of just songs they like and songs they enjoy, and of course, they can't monetize any of that. Nintendo, Sega, Sony Music Group, whoever the music you're using will likely have a chance of taking it down. Of course, it doesn't happen that often because with video game music, a lot of the time it's used within the gameplay, and if someone's doing like a let's play, the company doesn't want to just take down that video because it
unless
uses
your name's
their music.
Nintendo.
And that's why you see a lot more lenience when it comes to video game music on YouTube with these sort of music mixes and stuff, because it probably wouldn't be very goodwill of a company to just shut down everyone enjoying their music, and so they'll make like an easier or more convenient way of listening to their music, such as Nintendo Music, or, you know, releasing it on Spotify or whatever. But if you're remixing it in Suno, how is an algorithm or whatever scanner YouTube has to detect what music is being used in it be able to tell? Because it's a one-of-a-kind remix, you know? And I think like it's making those sort of other services like Nintendo Music feel more valid, because eventually people are going to be so fed up with all this shit everywhere and not being able to tell if this is someone trying to trick them by like adapting their aesthetic.
Man, I wish I still had this level of cope. I wish I had not been so fucking black-pilled on AI. I can hear it because of those weird-ass chords that no sane person would do. I don't know enough music to even hear it, right? Like, I'm sure if you have any sort of music knowledge, you can definitely spot it. But it's kind of like, here you go. A lot of people have no idea how to spot an AI website. I can see an AI website from a fucking mile away. But if you don't know anything about website design, if you don't know anything about, like UI design in general, it's, like, a lot of people just can't see it.
To something which you would see with actual legit music mixes, they're just gonna go, you know what, I'm just gonna use an official way of listening to this, or go to a website like, I think it's KH Insider, where it has like a collection of like a bunch of music which you can just like download. People are just gonna end up doing that more. I think people are just gonna...
This level of cope, man. Can you share this level of cope with me? I'd love to have some of it back. I know what's gonna happen. I know that I am the last generation of people who even remotely care about AI. When I am 40 and we have a new crop of 20-year-olds who grew up with AI from the day they were born, they are not gonna even remotely care. Like, at all.
Lose this trust with a site like YouTube, and I'm trying to figure out what they can do about this, and really there's nothing you can really do. You just got to get smarter. And it's sad as well, because I've been at places where some people just don't care.
The boomers.
Like, I had a family member who was listening to like a Pusheen playlist of music, and it was obvious it was AI, not just its banner and its like visual was obviously like AI generated and AI animated, with how like disgusting and like overly complex it looked, and it was so grim. And then I listened to the music which was playing, and I was like, damn, this fucking sucks. And I called out my family member about it, and they didn't care. And it's like, that made me realize a lot of...
Yes. Correct. You're realizing
people just don't care. A lot of people don't really care that much.
Here's the thing. Even if they know it's AI, if they like the sound of it, right? Like, if they like the sound, it literally doesn't matter to them.
About music. And for me, at least, that is kind of disappointing, where I feel like one of the most human aspects to just us as a culture is music. And to have that be regurgitated and reposted just to make a quick buck by, you know, putting up all of these videos which are an hour long and then tricking people or making people who don't really care or wouldn't even think about this, it's just like really upsetting and kind of sad, because it does feel like direct theft, right? Like obviously all of it is theft at the end of the day, of it's being trained on all of music and the entire history of the world, to then have this sort of app that
it's theft, and somehow I'm so surprised that both Disney and Sony, like Sony Music especially, they have been so litigious over the years. I'm surprised how little they've actually cared. I don't know, like Disney as well with like animation stuff. I don't know how they've been like so hands off with it. There have been a couple of little things here and there. If you like, you know, if you use the mouse, Disney freaks out. And a couple of little things with Sony Music, but for the most part, they've kind of been on board with it.
Agitates it, but to
and I think ultimately it's because they want to use it themselves to make money, so they can't really be too against it.
Specifically, like, take this song and remix it, like, one-to-one. Like, that I feel like is, like, direct thievery, and it's just, like, so gross when the only purpose of that is to be used for monetization and making money. And like Spotify is already filled with this AI slop, where like I've just stopped using it because I've just heard so many horror stories from other people. I just haven't used that in ages. And so like for me, YouTube is the main place I'm using, and it's just sad to see like so many of these playlists come up.
Just listen to nothing but anime music by the official artist. There you go, easy solution.
And not notice that people realize that it's AI. And like one more thing is like sometimes in these AI mixes, they'll put in the description of being like, oh yeah, this is AI, but I'm doing it to support my family or something. And I'm like, is that really the best way of supporting your family? Like tricking people?
Yes.
Like, is that not the same as like being a scammer for a living? I
Yes.
don't know, man. It's just like, it's so gross at the end of the day. And, you know, AI is here to stay or whatever, but I just wish it was gatekept or something where like it's only used for like science and like actual shit or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That
If
is not that is not going back in the box. Even if all the big AI companies shut down tomorrow, the open source models are still here. The open source models are still going to keep doing this.
Snap my fingers and get rid of this, I think it would be
Open
pretty
source
baller.
models.
But like we're just at this weird time right now where I really don't know where trust is going to happen, and really like one of the only places to get validity
in real life,
in terms of knowing that a music mix or anything isn't using AI, is to make sure that it was uploaded before 2022. Basically, it's like 2022 or older, it's probably legit. Or, you know, going analog and like going to old thrift stores and buying CDs and buying actual physical mixtapes, or just living in like a tiny corner of your internet, like Neo Cities or something, and sharing music which you know and can trust that it was made by humans. Because really, for these like universal platforms like YouTube, where there is the aspect of monetization, any place where money is, AI will be.
So man, probably answers already, but what's your thought? So I didn't know about that until someone mentioned it earlier in the stream. I need to properly sit down and actually read what Linus wrote. I don't want to give my full thoughts on it until I've properly done so and had a look at a lot of the rest of the thread. From what I did read, though, it should be kind of unsurprising. It should be unsurprising that Linus is very much not against this. Linus has always been like, if there's a new tool, let's try it out, let's see what happens kind of deal. I do need to sit down and properly take a look, though, and I'll probably do that. I know, I'll probably do that after the stream.
Basically, that's really where it is. So if you want to get these human experiences, you got to...
I do think it's going to cause a bit of a ripple in the FOSS space, though. Because there are a lot of projects that really don't like AI.
Go away from the money. I don't know. Like, that's just how it feels, right? It fucking sucks. And there's so many of these dead giveaways of what clearly shows that it is AI remixed, or like just an AI playlist in general. But then as I said, like in my last video, they all had this like very clean look where it was obvious, like, okay, single words for each song in like a giant playlist, and you could see in the description. But like now they're really trying to make it seem like it's part of like whatever niche they're like aiming to look at. Like if it is something which is like Fruitiger Aero themed or like Y2K themed or whatever like sub-aesthetic people are interested in, it will try and like, you know, all lowercase letters, or it will be like PSP era atmospheric liquid DNB, and I'm like, okay, I would click on something like that usually, and the thumbnail fits where it's like, okay, this was done with like some artistic design.
Okay, so this person is probably, I'm gonna say they're probably around my age. They're probably, I can't imagine they're over 30. They're probably in the range of like 26 to 29, I would say.
Think, unless it was like a stolen image on Pinterest of like a collage someone made. And so I'm like, why put in that fucking effort? Or like there's this one, which I think I'm putting in the thumbnail, which is 2006 is hiding in this playlist. And it's like this AI generated image of Link from The Legend of Zelda holding an iPod, and then like...
That is kind of a banger thumbnail though.
Just a bunch of like Fruitiger Metro stuff behind it from like old iPod commercials and shit. And I'm like, man, get the fuck away from like our interests, please. Because it's just like the whole purpose of like these old aesthetics and going back to them is so we can escape from AI and like these like modern themes. And I think that's like one of the biggest resurgences.
And that right there is why they're doing it, because it right now is a big trend
of this sort of old stuff. It's like the reason isn't just that like, oh, our generation is like nostalgic for this era, but it's like also, yeah, take us back to like a simpler time where shit wasn't regurgitated 24/7.
Remember what I said before about we are the boomers? We are the boomers. I guarantee you've probably heard your parents say the exact same thing. Don't you remember a time before the internet? Don't you remember a time where before the, let's see, before phones were common, when no one had a phone in their house, where if you wanted to meet up with someone, you'd go to their house and knock on their door, and they probably wouldn't be home, so you'd have to go to where you think they usually hang out. And guys, don't you remember when people would, like, go outside and hang out? Like, we literally are the fucking boomers now.
And it's sort of sad where you see those aesthetics or something like sort of Fruitiger Aero, which is like this example of like an aesthetic which people have taken back because it was initially like corporate greenwashing, and now people are like sort of wanting to recycle and stuff with it.
God. I don't know how your parents ran.
For it to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like AI generate stuff to look like this. It's like that goes entirely against the point of like what the design is trying to say. And so it's just sucks. I wish people put more effort into stuff. So what's the solution? If there are channels which you can tell isn't AI generated and you can tell that they put effort into, celebrate that, right? It's like comment on their videos, like them, subscribe to them, make niche communities like on NeoCities or whatever, and share music which you're interested in, and then share that to your friends and stuff. There's many ways of going about this, and it's like for the people who are still doing and making these sort of like music mixes for fun, like shout out to you, because it's like that is so sick that like despite everything you're still doing this and just like curating like cool niche music which people might have not heard
That's
of.
fair.
There's
right,
like some really good ones which I'll link in the description or put as a pinned comment or something. But I think if you guys enjoyed this comment saying I hate AI music, and if you do yearn for that feeling of the past, be sure to check out some of the videos on my main channel where I talk about the things which I loved growing up, the effects they had on me, and maybe they had on you.
This was fun. I wish I had this level of cope left. I really do. My cope reserves have run dry over the years. I know how things are gonna go. I know there is no fighting it. So I have given up entirely.